Alright, so what's up YouTube? It's the Night Saint here back with another video. And this is gonna be Intuition, so Osho by not Osho, but Intuition by Osho. The book review. No, I'm beyond logic. I'm gonna try to keep the review. I'm gonna keep it short, but also I'm not gonna try to tell too much of what's inside the book. But I'm really gonna be reflecting on how it really changed and warped and helped me think better in terms of how to use my intuition and really be connected to it. And it helped me utilize it more. So, for me to explain about this book, I had this book, I ain't gonna lie, I bought it in 2020. I ain't read it till this year. I ain't gonna lie, I know I'm not the only person that should be buying books and holding on to them. Like, I had this book for so long, and then something just hit me one day, like, Kevin, read that book. And if you don't know what Osho is, he's a spiritual teacher. I don't know if you ever seen him. He not like, he likes Sadhguru, but I about to say, I don't know, something about Sadhguru I don't like about him, but Osho, I like him. So I'm reading it, and this book, I'm not gonna lie, gave me a whole different perspective about a lot of things. It changed my perspective on, even like on the genders, it changed my perspective on it. It changed my perspective on how we see, the forces behind like intellect, instinct, and your intuition. And even it helped me in so many ways. It kind of added more. It almost added to like my own practices, like Taoist principles of like, holding compassion for people. It helped me with being more understanding of people, and it's kind of added to like the theory of how people live on like certain chakra levels. But it was kind of like linking it to like people who live on like an instinctual level, people live on an intellectual level, and there's people that live on an intuitive level. And so, and I can probably say that this book, probably, if I'm being honest, it's probably a top 5 book that I got right now. I'm glad that I highlighted and made marks in the book, because it's just a lot of quotables and just really insightful things in this book. And this is anybody that read books or starting to read books, always highlight, but also just keep going back to like books that you like, because the first time you read a book, you're reading it to learn it, but the next time you read it, you may find something else in it. You may find another part of yourself in that book that you didn't notice the first time. Like, it's almost like these books are a reflection of you. So that's one thing I can say, like on a tip note. But yeah, this book honestly opened me up to a more compassionate way of understanding people and a more compassionate way of living my life. Like, for example, this is a concept in this book is about how people hero intellect so high. I might only speak about that part of the book, how people hero intellect so high and they try to denigrate or like try to look down upon like instincts, right? And instincts is more, if I'm being honest, if we can all be honest, instincts is more close to intuition. It's a feeling. It's a bodily feeling. It's a gross feeling. When I say gross, I mean physical. And people got to realize that all these, intellect is fairly young. And that's why I don't like when people, let's say, not saying that, college is a bad thing, but people try to hero intelligence or going to college and, getting more information when most people have a lot of information, they just don't know how to use it the right way. And it's kind of like a waste of time to the average person, unless you know what you really want to do, in my opinion. But people hero intelligence so much, even though intelligence realistically is only information from somebody else, from somebody else's experience. It's almost like it's anecdotal, and you can't really do anything with it. Like I said, that information can change 100 years from now, 200 years from now, and we've seen this many times. How about this? Somebody say one thing, but with somebody else's experiences, they may get a different, set of rules or guidelines. So that's why sometimes intelligence is very false. And I think that's a certain reason why, like, let's say like the sciences doesn't make, a certain amount of sense, because, until something else that comes that disproves it, they herald this thing as like the highest thing in the world. That's why I guess, scientists don't like the world of the invisible world. Let's say the metaphysical world, where a lot of these, like the more the spiritual beings and all these type of things start to really come into play, because you can't see it, you can't physically prove it, you can't prove it with evidence. It's all this is really like based off of feeling and off of, to a certain extent, like your imagination. And you know, scientists don't like that, because scientists are like kind of like very logical and like, you know, 1 + 2 = 3. Like I said, it has to make sense. If it don't make sense, like I said, it can't be real. And that's not a way to think about life, you know? Because even when we see people like with the arts, like in the book they go about this example how think about the art of like stealing, right? You can't learn that anywhere. That is an intuitive art. I was about to say, of course we may deem it as, you know, less than, because you know you stealing essentially, but it's still an art form to it. Some people literally are. It's like it's almost like, you know, daredevils. It's like being a musician. It's like something that you. It's something that you feel. It's something that you learn from experience and being in it. And then also while being in it, it's almost like, you know, you learn these secrets in it. I was about to say, they say something. It was a quote around basically anything you love long enough will tell you its secrets. It's kind of like that. And that type of relationship, like the feeling aspect of that, is something that we call intuition. Like I said, it comes from something that higher on, that's not even in your immediate reality. It's something that may be given from, let's say, the fourth dimension. It could be something from a spirit. It could be from spirit of whatever you're doing, a spirit of music. It could be just sending you a message. And that's why some people thrive in certain artistic fields. Like some people just really are good channelers of information and things like that. And that's really what intuition is. It's about channeling information down from, let's say, the super consciousness, which is just all the beings in reality, or all of, let's say, I forgot the word for it, the super consciousness of, let's say, humanity. Let me say that in a more grounded sense. But people will look at intuition like it's little, just like they look at instincts like it's little, only because it's a physical thing. Even though instincts, realistically, they've been around since humans been around, and that's for way longer than humans have been intelligent, or not intelligent, intellectual. Because that's another difference I had to learn through the book, was that intelligence and intellect is two different things. Intelligence is like a mix of the three, while intellect is strictly of the mind, strictly of logic. And logic is based upon previous information. It's almost built upon like agreements that people made years ago, and people still abide by them just because, you know, either they don't have a better alternative, or, you know, they just don't want to create a new system. So how truthful and how, you know, trustworthy is intellect? It's not that trustworthy. It's not even that powerful in a sense. It's only powerful because we live in a system that supports intellect, and it doesn't support the power of intuition or instincts necessarily. You know, but you know, we always shifting, and we are kind of turning back into a society where, you know, it's becoming more balanced and intelligent in the sense of, you know, some livelihoods, people gonna be able to use their instincts, their intellect, or, you know, their intuition to really make a living. That's what I'm doing. Like with this YouTube shit, I'm realizing I'm more being led by my instincts and my intuition. Of course, I'm using my intellect, but that's where intelligence comes in, and I'm starting to move more intelligently with my, you know, my life. So, but yeah, overall, this book has opened me up to a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, I will recommend this book to anybody that's just open to learning anything. Like open to learning about your own intuition, and you know, it don't really talk about how to open it up for you. And if it do, it probably say it in between the lines. But the thing about me and my intuition is that in my opinion, the only way to really open up your intuition is by really learning to really understand yourself on a deeper level, knowing who you are on a deeper level. And then your voice, that little intuition voice, is going to slowly start to turn on, and it's going to get louder and louder the more you can trust yourself, the more you can understand who you are at the center of your own being. So, yeah. If y'all like the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Thank you.